It's your business. It is a Monday. Our report card show in August will be on the 13th. Now, the 13th because we're doing fairs, doing a few other things. But Tony Bachman is here. So about midway between our last report card and the next one, he's here. He's got all kinds of notes. I told him to tell us the story in 2018. What are you going to tell us?
Good morning, Bill. Well, our story is similar to the story that we've been talking about. You know, the whole thing with the supply and demand and the fact that demand still seems to be outstripping supply, you know, at the end of the day. So we've and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but in the same token there, some interesting numbers here. I mean, in reference to, and I'm going out.
You study numbers well, too.
Well, I think that the devil's in the details, and also when it comes to the stats, I mean, I think that's what people want. I mean, then that's one of the things that we're making a really concerted effort in, like our social media posts and things like that, where we just try to, instead of giving you like a whole laundry list of details, which sometimes I throw at you as we're sitting here in the mornings.
That's okay.
We try to just like take one little segment and say, okay, you know, based on, you know, like for example here, I can say like in June of 2017 to 2018, our inventory of homes for sale is down 20%. That's pretty significant. You know, it's basically 1/5 of our, you know, homes are not there compared to last year. We're noticing with our buyers, they're feeling the pressure. They're knowing that they have to bid higher to get some of these homes, and that's why you're seeing in like the housing affordability index, where you've seen that just consistently drop, you know, from month to month.
When does that number, and we're what, 140, 150 right now?
Yeah, we're at 147, which is, okay. You know, so, and the affordability index is basically an indicator saying that if you were at 100, that means that all of your disposable income that you had available to you with your income that you make would be going, I mean, along with making sure that you paid your bills and fed yourself and, you know, within reason and was able to afford a vehicle. And just 100 is an indicator saying that once you get to 100, that means that you're kind of maxed out. I mean, you can't do any extra, you know, major
down
spending
from where we've been.
Right.
We've been 212, 206.
Oh, yeah. So
198.
And we've been fortunate, you know, I mean, in comparison to many other communities like in other parts of the country, I mean, our affordability index is still pretty decent, pretty reasonable. But the fact being, like you said, that we've been up in this, you know, high 100s or even, you know, 200 for an affordability index, it's starting to put a little pressure on, especially first-time home buyers, you know. And one of the numbers that I was pulling up and we were looking at was, for example, like because I've had conversations this last week with two of my clients. One of them is in T. We're looking at homes in T. Well, there's 15 active homes available in T right now.
Which is far less than a year ago at this time.
Right. And of that, only 3 of them are under $200,000.
But that's 20%.
20% of what?
Of the 15.
Of the 15, correct. But in the same token, 15 is, I don't even know what the percentage is. I should have had that percentage of, you know, what's 15 from this year to last year in the T marketplace. Because I have a feeling that we're talking about a lot less homes for people to review. Now you're talking about less homes in that lower price point. So that pressure is really quite great. And I guess probably that's my point in reference
Absolutely.
To, you know, talking with buyers is the fact that there are options available. It's just that you have to be very, very proactive. And we're seeing a number of homes where they don't even make it to market. I mean, where we just have someone that says...
Explain that to people that are maybe my age or a little younger saying, what do you mean you couldn't even get it to market? Because it used to be 96, 110, 120 days to sell. Now it doesn't even get to market?
Yeah, well, a case in point, last week we had a townhome that we were going to put on the market at the end of the week. Well, the seller had said, yes, you can go ahead and market it, you know, let people know that it's for sale, you know, but in the same token, I don't want to go on the multiple listing service until Friday morning because I need to have a carpet cleaner come in and there's some things I want to get done.
Right.
Well, in the meantime, but they've also said, if you have someone who says that they have some interest, you know, not just us, but also other agents, you can certainly let them, you know, come and preview it. Well, we went on the market on Friday morning. We'd already had like 4 showings before that. And by Friday afternoon, we already had it under contract, and there was multiple offers. So but it was at that price point of like 137 or 136.9. And that's the price point where there's just a lot of pressure.
My guess is, too, the house was in a good condition, ready to sell, and there were not a lot of questions.
Right. It was in good condition. It was in a great location. It was in the southeast corridor. The HOA dues or fees were relatively, reasonable because it was a newer home, and those are all those factors that come into play. And then I've also had a conversation with someone that is looking for a home in Brandon. Now, this is a whole different conversation I've had with him. I've been working with them for about 3 months, and they would like to find a home for about $160,000, give or take. I mean, they'd even go up to about $170,000. We only have 4 homes in Brandon under $200,000, and of those 4 homes, only one of them was within his price range that he could, that they were saying that they would like to spend, type of thing. So now it's been 4 months, and he's had probably 3 homes that have fit the bill for what they were looking for out there.
Let's compare with Sioux Falls.
Yeah, Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls has a whole different. They've got like 571 homes that are. We've got like 571 homes that are.
And that's not a lot different than the last 2 years.
Active and new. No, it's real similar. Yeah,
we're
real
only
similar.
2 or 3 apart.
Yep. But and then the number of homes under 200,000. I just looked at that. I wasn't grabbing that but I think it's just something that many, especially buyers, first-time buyers, or people moving into Sioux Falls are kind of can relate to, because they're looking in that 200,000, give or take, 25, 50,000. But under 200,000, 177 homes are available under 200,000 in Sioux Falls area. So there are choices out there. The thing is that, when it comes to location, because part of your notes said, what's with school coming on, and people
that used to be the old mark. That used to be the old
moving.
Season.
That was kind of like the people want to try and find a home or relocate so they could have their kids be ready to go in the new school district and that sort of thing. And I think that definitely as a conversation, it's still something that kind of applies. But I think people are having to settle for maybe they're not going to be quite in the same school district they want, or close to the school, and they may have to, relocate to something a little further out. They may find all the amenities they're looking for, but they're just knowing that they're going to have to. I mean, for example, we have a community. It's a newer community out in the northwest quarter of Sioux Falls, which is some townhomes, really well priced. They're $239,000, 4 bedroom, 3 baths. But the school district is Tri-Valley, so we're just on the other side of Marion Road, and so that means that those kids will be bused to a smaller school. Now, some people look at it as a plus because they like the fact that their kids are going to go to a smaller school system. Others are like, well, I don't know if I want to have my kids, ride on a bus. So I think that's the whole thing where people are trying to decide. We're like, I don't have other options out here with 4 bedrooms, and actually this is 4 baths is what this has, and 2-stall garage with an HOA. There isn't that many options with that same amenities. So sometimes say, maybe Tri-Valley would be a nice option for our kids.
Tony Bachman, Team Keller Williams, a part of the report card force that will be on August 13th. We've had to move it around a little bit this year because of the fair, which has me at the fair on Monday and Friday. It has me in Redwood Falls, Minnesota, doing farm shows on Tuesday and Wednesday. So,
well, and you're right where you need to be, because this is ag economy here.
And it is important.
Ag drives a big sector of our business and our market, so it's good that you're putting a spotlight on that.
If you had one of those that you had as a buyer or seller, and they ask you about the interest rates, should people lock in? What are you telling them on January or July 23rd of 2018?
Well, you had Rick and Dave here earlier, and I think that and I was listening to what they have to say, and I think my advice would be similar to them. It's like, what is it that you feel comfortable with? And, I don't know if we're really going to see anything lower rates-wise, but we know that there's a really high probability that they'll go up. We just don't know when. We don't know if it's going to be, this month, next month.
You're hearing from the White House.
The
president is saying we can't keep raising these rates in the next year.
Yeah, but the buyers, the people that I speak with, that's always present in their mind, wanting to make sure that, they're trying to find that home so that way they're not waiting. They don't want to wait 2 or 3 or 4 months, because if they wait that long, it might be a whole different thing. The affordability index is going to make a whole other change. Prices seem to be continuing to kind of rise a little bit in our marketplace. So good for sellers. I mean, sellers right now are in a good spot, and they're getting good return on their investment.
Do they want open houses?
Yes, we have been very active with our open houses. We have good traffic this last weekend. We had really good traffic. Are
you doing 3 hours, 2 hours, a half hour? What are you doing?
Our team typically does like 1 to 2:30 on Saturday and on Sunday, depending on which day we're having it. And then we also have a second open house, typically from about 3 to 4, depending on where we're located. But that's kind of so an hour to an hour and a half is kind of the timeline. And anymore, I mean, it's not uncommon. I think when Tim on my team had a couple open houses, and he had, some good traffic. He had like 5 sets of couples at one and another 3 sets of couples at another, which, I consider that a success, because I only need one couple that are interested to buy the house. So that part is awesome.
We talked about Brandon T., but you also want to talk Madison.
Yeah, we so one of the things that we had on here is about our team. Our team has expanded. We had an addition to our team, Carly Chambers, who is a school teacher up at Rutland School, had asked, in full disclosure, is my daughter-in-law, and had asked about real estate, and we've had conversations. So she went and got her license, and so she's going to be a perfect fit for up in that community. She lives around Madison, Lake Madison, and they have a right nice network of people. So we're looking forward to doing a little more business up in that area. So, and we know that Madison is a marketplace, as we've talked about in the last few months, where there's been a lot of pressure up there also. I mean, with all the new college and stuff like that going up there, we're going to see a lot of new construction that happens up there too.
Tony Bachman team, Keller Williams, Sioux Falls. Most asked question you get right now?
Most asked question is, are there going to be more homes coming on the market this fall?
And you say?
My answer is, I hope so. I hope so.
And if people have homes they want to sell, it's time to call.
Let's have that conversation. I know as soon as we finish here, I'm going to go get one home on the market today. So we'll increase it by 1 at least today.
All right. Tony Bachman, we appreciate you. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Bill.